Thanksgiving Day, they seem to get bigger.
What does?
The big clown balloons in Macy's parade. There's some making over there waiting for the parade to start.
But how do they keep them up there like that?
They dangle them from invisible helicopters. No, they got a lot of gas in them.
But why do they keep pulling on those ropes?
They'd float away otherwise. They got helium in them. It's the big clown balloons in Macy's parade. It's the big clown balloons just soldering. Last year they had Pinocchio with that funny nose.
Should be. And Donner should be on my right-hand side.
What are you talking about?
Your reindeer. Prancer and Blitzen should switch places. And Dancer should have 4 plain antlers, not 6. Though I don't suppose anyone else would notice that except for me. But you will attend to the reindeer's proper position though, won't you?
Yeah, sure I will.
Thank you.
Give me my hat back! I only loaned it to you. I didn't give it to you. Go get yourself a balloon.
Wow.
Hi, kid. You waiting for the parade? Hi, kid. Captain Gaylor, we don't seem to be getting through to this young lady. We'll try again, Fred. Very well, Captain. I think I will. So, do you live around here? Oh, right next door, huh? Well, what's your name? I said, what's your name?
What are you, in the parade or something?
No, I'm only watching parades from now on. My siblings will be ready this afternoon. Are you waiting for your father?
I haven't got a father. We're divorced.
Well, who's going to take you to see the big clown balloons and Santa Claus?
Are you kidding?
Like a bowl full of jelly or a belly you can measure by the pound. They can laugh from their nose to their collar and never make a solitary sound. Laugh from their nose to their collar and never make a solitary sound. Round and fat like a bowl full of jelly or a belly you can measure by the pound. Why, it's the big clown balloon, just a sauntery, 49 feet from the ground. Wow! It's the big clown balloon, just high as a building and wide as a merry-go-round. Hey! One step takes one block, 2 blocks make one thing. Never saw a smiling, happier, open a happier face. But it's the big clown balloons, just a sauntering by. But it's the big clown balloons, just a teetering star. Flanking Central Park, soon the bands will play. Crossing over
Santa Claus every year for $2 an hour.
Oh, she does she? Well, I don't care if your old lady is Mrs. Scrooge. We can't miss the parade. Come on, grab a balloon.
Miss Walker, please come in, Mrs. Walker. Mrs. Walker, an emergency.
Excuse me, who's in charge of this parade?
Mrs. Walker.
Miss Walker, please come in. Please come, physician's sick. Mrs. Walker. Oh, thank heavens, Doris, someone's holding up the parade.
I'm holding up the parade till I can locate Santa Claus.
Excuse me, are you Mrs. Walker?
Where have you been? You were doing your foot up. Why, you're not our Santa Claus.
I certainly am not. Your Santa Claus is intoxicated.
Mr. Shellhammer!
I'm doing it, I promise, nothing.
Give him some black coffee.
Black with a little brandy in it, please.
It's no use. Take him to the costume tent. Now what? Hey, you fooled me even without the red suit. How about it?
Mrs. Walker, I don't think
All you have to do is sit up on the float, smile at the children, wave, and pretend to be kindly.
Smile at the children, wave, and what was the third? Pretend to be kindly?
$2 an hour and all the cotton candy you can eat, please.
I'm not in the habit of substituting for spurious Santa Clauses, but I wouldn't want the children to be disappointed.
Good, we do appreciate it.
It's a 2-minute bugle.
You will hurry, won't you?
There will be a band in front of my float.
Of course.
Have them play a Christmas carol.
A Christmas carol to march to?
Sure, the saints love to march.
30 seconds!
Don't worry, Mrs. Walker. I have quite a record for punctuality.
Stay with him. Hello, Sammy? Give me the whole hookup, please. All right, this is it. Everybody up, everybody up. Boys and girls, this is it. Unit 1, all clear here. Move out with Unit 5. 4, cross behind 2. 6 and 3, swing in at 72nd Street. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Columbus Circle Police, start north. Santa Claus is on his sleigh, and here we come.
On Donner! On Dancer! On Prancer and Vixen!
Parade.
Remind me not to take you on a picnic sometime.
At least we won't have to wait for the Santa Claus.
What do you mean?
He certainly won't be coming in all this rain.
Oh, what rain? Why, there's the sun. Well, I'll be darned.
Best Santa Claus we ever had. Look at that crowd in front of the store. They've been standing there for 20 minutes.
I know that old fella in the amateur. He's done that someplace before. Just look at him turning on for the TV cameras. hey, how would you like him to help you in the toy department? Maybe get rid of some of those plastic alligators you ordered.
How'd you know about that?
Mr. Shellhammer, I know that you smoke in the third floor bathroom, catnap in the model bedroom, nosh in the gourmet shop. Why wouldn't I know that you ordered 7,000 plastic alligators by mistake?
Miss Walker.
Hi, boss.
Hi, Slave.
I will not allow my short-sighted mother
I will not allow my short-sighted mother
to spoil me rotten
to spoil me rotten.
with brand new bunny slippers.
Bunny slippers, thank you.
You're welcome. And now, Miss, what's your name this evening?
Rosalita Audrey Penobscot.
Yes, Miss Penobscot. Who came into your busy world today?
You tell me first.
I always have to go first. Who flew into my sky today? Who sailed into my sea? Who came whistling down my street? Is that your question to me?
Yes.
Well, somebody sure come a-flying, flying much better than you. And somebody sure come a-whistling, prettier tunes than the tunes you do. But no one whistled or sailed or flew with anything like your charm. So let's tune up to your paper comb, turn the corner and head for home. Arm in arm, arm in arm, arm in arm. We're gonna eat mashed potatoes and pie. Arm in arm, we're gonna do the dishes.
Dishes?
Arm in arm, we're gonna save the dishes for tomorrow. I love you. Who come over my fence today? Who come shaking my tree? Who came yodeling mountain tunes? Clank, clank, plunking at me. Well, somebody sure come a-climbing, trying to make me forget you. And somebody sure come a-yodeling, promising loudly to love me true. But no one yodeled or plinked or plunked with anything like your charm. So you're still captain and I'm still crew, taking orders and following through. Arm in arm, arm in arm. Happy Thanksgiving, sweetheart. And where is the lady we loosely refer to as our housekeeper?
Catching the last show at the music hall.
I see.
She finally mentioned the painting.
Oh,
She said, "Is that painting supposed to be beautiful?"
what'd you say?
I said, "Mrs. Beeler, in modern art, there is no distinction between the beautiful and the ugly." I saw your parade, Doris. It wasn't bad.
Gee, thanks. Who gave you the balloon?
Captain Frederick Gailey, U.S. Marine Corps, retired, lives next door.
And you went to the parade with him?
Sure, he's harmless, Doris. He's a lawyer now and he's going to live in Connecticut.
First of all, no man is harmless. And living in Connecticut is not necessarily a character reference. Don't tell me he gave you the old routine. Hello, little girl. Is that dish I see going by here every day your mother?
Doris, he never saw you go by. And he didn't call you a dish. He called you a witch.
Not to pry or anything, but what prompted that remark?
I told him we didn't believe in Santa Claus, Prince Charming, or anything we couldn't see, smell, taste, or touch. He was thunder-stricken. Strucken?
Stricken, I think.
He's very sentimental.
You mean corny. He's the familiar prototype, and he's on the make for your mother.
What's that mean?
On the make? Why?
No, prototype.
Bedtime, young lady.
What's a reprobate?
I can't hear you.
What's a reprobate?
Where did you hear that?
Mrs. Beeler said my father was a reprobate.
Go to sleep, Susie.
Did we ever believe in Santa Claus?
Go to sleep, Susie. A long time ago, when we were just me, we believed in everything. Blue skies and fairy godmothers, and even a Prince Charming, just as though they were real. Well, they're not real, Susan, and filling a little girl's head full of fairy tales can make her grow up thinking of life as a fantasy instead of a reality. You don't know what it is to believe in a storybook world guaranteed to come true, only to find you are locked in a nightmare with everyone safe and secure except you. Looking night after night down the block for the swing of those shoulders, the curve of that chin, happy and proud when the man in your clouds stops your heart with a wave and a grin. You don't know what it is to believe you are safe and secure in your heaven for two, waking up each day to that glory book world with your eyes full of dreams and your skies full of blue. Here I am with a heart cold and numb and an emptiness no one can fill. You don't know what that is, and as long as I live, I promise you, you never will.
Attention, please. Well, all of you new clerks, we're so delighted to have you here with us at Macy's through the holidays. I'm Mrs. Walker's assistant, also public relations. Now just relax and later I'll escort you around the store. Have any of you ever clerked before?
I have.
Oh, please don't ever say that again. Now, I'm going to expose you to a new sales idea. Mr. Macy himself is yet to hear of it. Through an understandable error, we have 7,000 reptiles to sell. Yes, plastic alligators. And I propose to stimulate their sales through jingles, just as they do it on TV. You can claim anything if you sing it. This famous plastic alligator's guaranteed for life. It'll swim like a fish and blow like a whale. Pour your beer or ginger ale, wriggling around from head to tail. Buy one today. All right, just remember, don't say it, sing it. Now, the sound of the 3 o'clock gong, the afternoon session of our toy department will resume. And at that time, we'll try our new sales idea on Mr. Macy. Now, don't get nervous. Get your alligators. This famous plastic alligator's guaranteed for life. It'll swim like a fish and blow like a whale. Pour you a beer or a ginger ale, wriggling around from head to tail. Buy one today. Oh, Mr. Macy! Oh, my jingle idea. Just as they do it on TV. You can claim anything if you sing it. That toy over there is plastic, but you cannot wear it out. You can throw it or kick it or slam it on the floor. Watch it crawl right back for more. Throw in a kiss like dinosaur. Buy one today.
Mr. Shellhammer,
I've heard your voice and your idea.
Yes.
And I'm impressed.
You are?
With neither!
Oh, make sense.
Get on! Get on!
Hello, Santa. I'm Harry Finford.
Hello, Harry. Have you been a good boy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sure you have several things in your mind. What would you like the most?
I'd like to go to the bathroom.
Oh, I see. Well, then tell Santa quickly what you like for Christmas.
I want a fire engine.
A fire engine?
Just like the basement that squirt real wet water. I won't do it in the house, just in the backyard. I promise.
You shall have it, Harry.
See? I told you you'd get me one. Thank you, Santa.
Yes, dear. Now you're just right down the hall, and I'll pick you up in a few minutes. Mommy wants to thank Santa Claus, too. What do you mean by saying anything like that? I have looked all over, and they're just not making that kind of fire engine.
You don't think I would have told him unless I were sure, do you? You can get one at FAO Schwartz, and they're only $4.50. A wonderful bargain. I keep track of the toy market pretty closely. Does that surprise you?
No, what really bowls me over is that Macy's is sending me to another store.
Well, what's the difference? Macy's, Lord & Taylor's, or Saks? As long as it's in the customer's best interest. Don't you feel that way?
Yes, I do, but I didn't think that Macy's did.
As long as I'm here, they do.
Let me tell you, I will never shop anywhere but here from now on.
You know, my wife was just saying that same very thing.
Macy's has discovered the true spirit of Christmas. Let's go tell Penny.
Come on, Susie, don't sulk. This won't hurt.
You shall have it, my love. Well, now, what's your name?
Her name's Indrika. She's Dutch. She just came over. She's been living in an orphan's home in Rotterdam. When she saw you in the parade, she said you were Santa Claus. As she calls you, and that she could talk to her.
Santa Claus?
You see, she doesn't speak English.
Ja, ik ben Sinterklaas. Ik ben gekomen bent.
Oh, big Santa Claus! Ik wist so well.
I wonder if she remembers this. Adventskalender, helder en lat.
Ja! Klink! Wat hoorn klink. Wat hoorn
Adventskalender, helder en lat. Klink,
Wat
hoorn klink. Laat uw kracht zoeken tot mooi.
Wat
Adventskalender, helder en lat. Klink,
Wat
hoorn.
Dankjewel, Sinterklaas.
Alsjeblieft.
Thank you so much.
Well, now, young lady. Young lady.
Susie, Susie. Hello, Santa. I'm Fred Gale.
Hello, Fred. Delighted to meet you.
Say, I got a little girl here who wants to meet you. Come on, Susie.
Well, now, my dear, what's your name?
Susan Walker, what's yours?
Mine? I'm Santa Claus.
Oh, sure. How do you do? Okay, Mr. Daly, now let's go home.
I'm terribly sorry about that, Santa.
For what?
For wasting your time like this. I couldn't get anywhere with her all day yesterday. Where could you get in only a few minutes?
I'll have her calling you Uncle Fred before you know it.
Uncle Fred, that kid, you want to make a bet?
$1 to a donut.
You got a bet.
Just give me a few minutes alone with you.
Good luck.
Oh, Susan? It's Susie? You know, you're a very clever young lady. I'd like to know just why you don't believe I'm Santa Claus.
My mother is Mrs. Walker. She hired you.
Oh?
But I must say, you're the best looking one I've seen.
Well, why, thank you.
I mean, your whiskers aren't all loose.
Oh, no. Oh, well, that's because they're real.
They are?
Go ahead, pull. Ow!
They are real.
Sure, just like I'm really Santa Claus. Now, what would you like for Christmas?
Tell me the truth. There really is no Santa Claus, is there?
I always speak the truth. Not only is there such a person, but here I am to prove it. Now, what would you like for Christmas?
What do you think I should ask for?
How about a nice plastic alligator?
I thought so.
Well, they're a bit wily, but they're a lot of fun. And the best place to get one is Gimbals.
Gimbals?
Ask for a plastic alligator at Macy's and he sends you to Gimbals?
I know. People are talking about it all over the store. I can hardly believe it.
Well, why not? People should be kind and helpful to each other at any time of the year. But when Christmas time rolls around, we ought to go a step farther, make it a tradition, so to speak, to treat everyone with love.
With love?
Of course.
Everyone?
Why not?
Even the Yankees?
At Christmas time, certainly.
And the Ford family should drive around in a Chevy?
I wish I thought of that one.
He sent me to Auckland's for this wine glass pattern. But you don't really mean Macy should love Gimbals.
I do indeed. May I? Me to you, and you to me. From people to people, wherever they may be. From the high and the mighty to the meek who inherit the earth. Miami to Los Angeles and Dallas to Fort Worth.
CBS to NBC. From people who say so to those who disagree. From the chip on the shoulder of the younger to the older. Here's love, here's love. From the ground floor apartment to the party just alone. Here's love, love, love.
I want to thank you for renewing my faith. I can hardly believe it.
Macy's really understands Christmas.
But you don't really mean Macy should love Gimbals.
I do indeed. Neighbor White.
To neighbor Brown.
From all the home folks to folks from out of town.
From the Frenchman to the rest of us. Chinese to each other as well.
Mexico to Texaco.
And Texaco to Shell.
CIO to U.S. Steel.
From Jolly Nikita to Norman Vincent Peale.
From the bells in the steeple to a bunch of sleepy people. Here's love, here's love. From the girl left behind you to the girl you're dreaming of. Here's love, love, love.
All the dogs.
To all the cats, teacher to pupil, remain the love to us. From the army to the navy, Hudson Grace and Annapolis Blue. Cajuns to Rugby's, cowboys and both to LSU. Junior Smiths to Lucky Strikes.
From all of the Birches to Mamie's darling eye.
From the pitchers to the hitters, from the babies to the sinners. Here's love, here's love. From the car with the bumper to the car that needs a show. Here's love, love,
Donald Duck.
to Mickey Mouse.
From Hansel and Gretel.
Tanuki Country House. From Simple Simon to the Biden.
From the Calico Cat to the Pop.
Poor Humpty Dumpty to the fallen broken up.
Little boys.
To little girls with under their pigtails and taffy in their curls.
From Cinderella with her blisters to her broom and all her sisters.
Here's love, love, love. La 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 la. Here's love, love, love.
All the help.
To all the press,
The coming of springtime.
to people on the grass. From the Congress to the Pentagon,
the wiggly worm to the trout.
Terror to the final as she tries to drive it out.
husband false to husband true.
Elizabeth Taylor to husbands in review.
From Rosh Hashanah to Easter and from Lent to Tisha B'Av. From the lamb to the lion, from the eagle to the dove, here's
For the next 10 years, anyway.
Why only 10 years? I'm gonna love you forever.
Oh, no, you're not. In 10 years, you'll be a dame. And dames don't love anybody but themselves.
Can you be my father then?
How can I be your father? I'm a bachelor. And no dame is going to get her lunch hooks on my old Connecticut farmhouse.
I didn't know you had a farmhouse in Connecticut.
Just happened to have a snapshot.
Is that a swing in the back and a cow?
It sure is.
Can I keep it?
No, you can't keep it.
I mean, just for a while, please. I'll be careful.
Well, I suppose so. All right, you dame.
Please be my father, Uncle Fred.
Well, if it was a special occasion, hey, when's your birthday?
Christmas.
Really? That's terrible. You only get half as many presents.
I know.
And what about a birthday party?
I never had one. Who wants to go to a birthday party on Christmas?
I bet you never even got a birthday card.
I got one last year.
Oh?
I sent it to myself. It was in the shape of a funny old purse. When you opened it up, it said, "Happy birthday," from one old bag to another.
Nice sentimental thought. I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll make today your honorary birthday, and I'll be your honorary father until we go home. And to show you my heart's in the right place, I'll even make you up a special birthday card right now.
You will?
Sure. May your hopes be as high as the sky's highest star. May your star be as bright as your smile. May your smile be as warm as your place in the sun. May your place in the sun bring you peace. May the peace in your heart give you joy in your heart. May your hearts know the meaning of love. May the love you will know when you know you're in love be forever and ever as true as the love I have given to you. May the peace in your heart,
May the peace in your heart
give you joy in your heart.
give you joy in your heart.
May your heart know the meaning of
Of love.
May the love you will know
May the love you will know
when you know you're in love.
when you know you're in love.
Be true
as true
as the love I have given to you.
Yes, I'm talking from Mrs. Walker's office. I can assure you those are her wishes. I'll be entirely responsible. Yes, whatever you heard.
I can't believe it!
Worse, people were normal, and then suddenly they were shrieking, on to Gimbals. Imagine it, only 20 shopping days till Christmas, and not a single customer or clerk in the entire store.
Why didn't you stop it?
Stop it? I was the pivot man. It was mass hypnotism.
Why haven't we heard from Mr. Macy?
He's probably making a deal to replace us with automation.
I'm not surprised. I knew that Santa Claus was too good to be true.
Wait till you see Santa's employment card.
Chris Kringle. Chris Kringle? The Brooks home, Great Neck, Long Island. Age, as old as my tongue and a little bit older than my teeth. Next of kin, dancer, prancer?
See, he's a real nut.
Wait a minute.
Thank heavens I did what I did. Should have done it sooner.
I've got it.
Got what?
Shellhammer, I've got it. It's a natural. I've got a great idea. I've got it.
Miss Macy.
So, you arranged to have all of my customers sit over to Gimbals. At first, I thought it was one of Mrs. Macy's harebrained stunts. But this is wilder than her days at Wellesley.
Mr. Macy,
I want to ask you something, young woman. How are you going to repay R.H. Macy and Company for rerouting the proceeds of an entire day from our cash register to Gimbals? I'm going to fire that crazy Santa Claus right now, after which I have a word to say to you. Hello. Give it to our department. Johnson, this is Macy. I want you...
Johnson, this is Doris Walker. Mr. Macy's been interrupted. He wants you to have all the clerks follow the Santa Claus line. I mean sending people to other stores. I'll call you back.
Now, wait a minute, Mrs. Walker.
Mr. Macy, when I first heard this idea, I naturally concluded it came from you. On the face of it, it seemed idiotic.
Of course it's idiotic.
But after 6 years of training in Macy's policies, if I can't evaluate a great natural sales idea, I'll go up to your roof and jump off.
May I escort you to the elevator? Sales idea.
That's what I said. Don't you want to be known as the friendly store?
What do you mean?
What I mean is the store that places public service ahead of profits.
Certainly.
The store with a heart?
Of course.
All right. So if we haven't got exactly what the customer wants, we'll send it where he can get it.
Wait a minute. You might have something there. The store that places public service ahead of profits. The effect on the public could be
monumental.
Consequently, we'll make more profit than ever.
And I get a bonus in the amount of 0.5% of the final Christmas sales figures. Agreed?
What was that last remark?
Fine. Make a note. Now, we don't want to run any chance of losing that Santa Claus.
I should say we don't.
Better get him on a lifetime contract.
Get me on a trip to Albany. Better yet, make that 2 tickets to Albany with a side trip to Buffalo. Mrs. Macy and I have never seen Niagara Falls.
It'll work. It'll work. I know it will. It'll work.
Right.
We got to get that Santa Claus up here immediately. Oh, what's the matter with you?
I fired him.
Who?
Santa Claus.
You what?
On the phone before you came in. I was only trying to be efficient, but...
We gotta get him back.
But his pink slips are in the mailroom.
Shellhammer, how could you?
Listen, the old guy's risky. He thinks he's Santa Claus.
I don't care if he thinks he's the Easter Bunny. You go out and find him and don't come back without him.
But couldn't we just hire some
Come in. Why, Mr. Kringle! Come
Mrs.
in.
Walker, this slip must have gotten into my box by mistake. Actually, it's a dismissal form.
Well, if that isn't a king-size foul-up, I never saw one. Come in, sit down. Let me take your hat. I mean it, Mr. Kringle. I've heard you here's love idea, and I'm betting on it. I'm ordering all the clerks in the store to take his cue from you. We're backing you, Mr. Kringle, with everything we've got.
Mrs. Walker, I knew I could win you over. I made you sort of a test case, you know.
Test case?
I did indeed. I feel better about Christmas now than I have for the past 50 years. Ideals have become so shameful in this century, and I must say I thought that included you. In fact, I'd about made up my mind that I wouldn't fight it anymore. The commercialism and the cynicism. I was going to give up for good. But now, look what's happened because of your faith in me. Oh, Mrs. Walker, we're going to bring Christmas back to the good old days. The gentle days that people were letting slip through their fingers without doing anything to stop it. The days of green Christmas trees instead of pink ones. And real pine cones. And real holly berries. Popcorn for you. Apples for me, red stripy candy, nutcracker handy, kettle a-bubbling, holiday tea. Snow clouds hang low and threatening, maybe it won't. Praying it may, the brightest fireplace glows in every face, waiting for Christmas Day. There'll be walk-around songs and talk-around songs, songs of the inn and stable. There'll be morning-time songs and evening-time songs, and grace at every table.
Jingle bells will jingle all the way, all day. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Popcorn
Everywhere you
for
go.
me, red striped candy, nutcracker handy,
The sturdy kind that doesn't mind the snow.
holiday tea.
It's
Snow
beginning
clouds,
Christmas,
Christmas tree,
and the
bells ring, golden face, waiting every day,
Right with
waiting for Christmas Day.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Working already. They're talking about nothing else all over town. Every department store is jammed with happy customers. We're already getting phone calls from preachers and teachers and bishops and rabbis. Just think, I almost fired that man. Doris, here's love.
Mr. Shellhammer, I think I've earned my $1 for today. Call my apartment, please. Tell Susan not to come down. I'm going home for dinner.
Oh, Susie was already down here, Doris.
She was? Mrs. Beeler didn't tell me.
She didn't come with Miss Beeler.
Who did she come with?
I don't know. Some big ex-general, by the way, he was ordering people about. Oh, he and Susie and Santa Claus were.
Were what, Shellhammer?
I don't know what you asked Susie.
I intend to.
Glad to hear it, Whitey. Sure, the game is on this week. Why not? Okay, see you here Thursday night. Come on in. I'm in the John.
Well, I pictured you quite differently, Captain Gailey.
I'm glad you pictured me and all, Miss,
Walker. Doris Walker.
well, glad to meet you, Miss the Witch.
That's right. The witch. I'll come straight to the point. I am a businesswoman and I'm used to dealing with men.
Good. I'm an ex-Marine and I'm used to dealing with women. You're Susie's mother. You know, you got a swell little kid there, but she's a little,
Excuse me, Mr. Gailey. My life revolves around that swell little kid. Why did you take her to see Santa Claus?
What's the harm in that?
The harm is that I told her that Santa Claus is a myth. Then you take her down there and she sees dozens of gullible children and a very convincing old man with real whiskers. What is she to think? Who is she to believe? And parenthetically, there is no room in our lives for daddies, honorary or otherwise. I can clarify that if you'll forgive some rather personal background.
I love it.
Thanks. It's funny, but a girl can tell a stranger things she wouldn't dream of telling a friend, especially a stranger she doesn't intend to ever see again. Now for the personal part. I really should have background music for this. You see, I waited until I was 25 for my dream courtship with my dream prince. I lived in this dream world for exactly 9 months and 13 days. He walked out on us the day Susan was born. This gay divorcee grew up very fast after that. What do you guys do? Put chalk marks on our gate posts?
I know what you mean. Are those your regular working clothes? Very lovely overalls, even for a Macy's executive. One would almost think you took the time to change. I'm very flattered.
You don't confuse me, Charlie.
Fred.
I seem to represent the classic situation your antennae are always quivering to locate. Divorced woman, pathetically eager for masculine attention, and gone all day at work. This permits you to get in through the oldest dodge in the world, the lady's child. Stay away from her, Charlie.
Fred.
And from me.
Look, you're bucking for a punch in the nose, dame or no dame.
And I'd say you're out of your depth, Marine. When my child comes home as she did today, with a sloppy, sentimental grin and a father image, the male animal who is responsible is heading for real trouble. Now, this little warning is issued with me under full control. If there is a next time, I'll call a police captain in this precinct who is as eager to move in on me as you are. I'd hate to open up that problem, but I will if I have to. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, very clear. It's also clear that you have no intention of leaving yet, or you would have started for the door on that remark. You know, I'd say it was very odd how the child just happened to wind up on my doorstep. I'd say maybe you sent her there. Well, you're wasting your time, little girl. I've been to Pigeon Root. And while we're getting so personal, let me fill you in on a few facts of my own. I'm about to embrace upon the legal profession to which status I have attained the hard way, namely flunking the bar exam 2 years in a row, barely skinning through on my third try, after 6 hours a week in Judge Advocate's office and 15 years of correspondence school. I'm a plotter. My plans, therefore, don't include any casual broads for a while. Look, little girl, when it comes to dames, I wrote the book. The whole bloody book. So look, little girl, I'd like to know why pick on me. Why not a wealthy man? I'm just an old guy with a new career in a road that'll take some hoeing. I'm also a guy who knows where he's been and who knows, please God, where he's going. How dare you come floating in here, trailing that moon glow, dripping that magic all over my floor. I'm not afraid of your moon glow. Have a kiss on the house, there won't be any more. Come here. I'd like to know why. Why? When I kissed you just then, you had to kiss me back. Now look, little girl. Look, little girl. Look, little girl.
I'd like to know why, when he kissed me, I had to go and kiss him back. Now look, little girl, why, little girl, look, little girl.
smiles in every face, waiting for Christmas Day.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kringle. That was a lovely song.
Thank you, Miss Cruikshank.
Now, about this intelligence test, you know it's nothing personal. All the Macy's employees are obliged to take it.
Oh, I'm not a bit worried. I've taken dozens of them. How many fingers do you see? 4. What's 3 times 5? 15. Muscular coordination test.
Oh, but you don't know our store psychologist.
Who, Mr. Sawyer?
He's not fair.
No! I don't give a charity! Are the employees fun?
You must be Mr. Sawyer.
I ain't his brother. So you're Santa Claus.
Well, I ain't his brother.
Never mind that. I mean, you're Santa Claus in the sense that there's lots of Napoleons and Julius Caesars and God knows what running around loose all over the place. Brookshank, how many times have I told you to keep these nuts out of here until you've had an opportunity to announce them to me personally? How much is 3 times 5?
15. Would you mind looking at me when you ask me the questions?
I'll look anywhere I wish. How many days in the week?
Mr. Sawyer, your function, as I understand it, is to conduct intelligence tests and evaluate them as a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. 7.
7? What's that mean?
The days in the week.
Complete lack of concentration. Make a note. Touch your left ear with your right hand and your right nose with your left hand. Damage to the nervous system. How much is 3 times 5?
You asked me that question before. You'll find the answer right.
I'm conducting this examination. How much is 3 times 5?
Same as it was before, 15. You seem a little nervous, Mr. Sawyer. Do you get enough sleep?
To tell you the truth, I have been having these dreams that my personal habits are no concern to you.
I'm sorry. I hate to see somebody so tired.
How many fingers do you see?
3. Ooh, you bite your nails. Are you happy at home, Mr. Sawyer?
That will be all. The examination is over.
Really? Why, thank you.
And you may be interested to know that I've been happily married for 14 years. If that's my wife, I'm not in. Cruikshank, take this down. After giving Mr. Kringle a comprehensive examination, it is my considered opinion that he be dismissed immediately. The man displays latent maniacal tendencies, and I recommend commitment as soon as possible.
Just a moment, Mr. Sawyer.
Mr. Sawyer, you can't do that.
What?
He gave all the right answers.
You dare to contradict me?
You didn't even give it the complete examination. You never do. You're always getting people fired just because you don't like them.
That's right! You're fired!
That's wrong. I quit.
Mr. Sawyer, I'm not in the habit of losing my temper, and I don't intend to do so. But if you dismiss that girl, I'll make sure Mr. Macy learns just what a maniacal, contemptible fraud you really are.
Mr. Macy's gone to Albany. And besides, you won't have a chance to tell him anything when he gets back. I'll see to that.
I'm warning you, get that girl back in here and apologize to her.
Get out before I have you thrown out!
There's only one way to deal with a man like you.
Ah! Help! Don't attack me! Help! Ah!
Mr. Kringle? Mr. Kringle, Mr. Kringle.
Susan, what are you doing down here at this time of night?
Mrs. Beeler brought me down. I wanted to come to your...
To my what?
I'm not supposed to tell you.
Just a moment, Susie. I was told to come down here tonight to attend some kind of meeting or something. No one would tell me anything about it. Why all the mystery?
Why is it making that noise?
He probably wants to tell you something.
Mr. Kringle, giraffes don't talk.
They do if you want them to. Say, Susan, have you ever been to the imagination?
I'm not supposed to believe in anything that I can't see, smell, taste, or touch.
Oh.
Mr. Kringle, where is the imagination?
Anywhere you'd like it to be.
Who's there?
Anyone you want.
Now, Mr. Kringle.
Now, Miss Walker. Expect things to happen like the people in the fairy tales do. You never can tell when your favorite fairy tale might turn out to be true just for you. So don't you dare to ever underestimate the power of a wish. A wish means hope. You let your face tell you every day how necessary soap is. Let your heart tell you how necessary hope is. And don't be a pessimist. Never let the schlumps hang around.
What's a schlump?
A schlump is a grumpy old crowd with his feet in the clouds and his head in the ground, upside down. Why don't you open up like astronomers and scientists always do? You never can tell when a fairy tale might come true.
Coming to the party?
What party?
Going to the party?
Whose party?
Some joke! Going to the party?
Whose party?
Don't be funny.
Going to the party? What party?
Why, yours.
Going to the party?
Why, yes.
Happy birthday, Susan.
Happy birthday, Susan.
I never had a birthday.
Who's going to cut the cake? Her daddy should cut the cake.
She doesn't have a daddy.
Where's she gonna find a daddy? One of us can be the daddy. Doris, choose one of us.
took you so long? Here's your house. Where is everybody?
Mr. Kringle? Mr. Kringle?
Coming.
The meeting, it must have been called off. I came up here hours ago.
Susan, you've only been here a few minutes.
Congratulations, Mr. Kringle. Mr. Macy wants to sign you to a lifetime contract.
Congratulations, Mr. Kringle.
Susan Walker, what are you doing down here?
I wanted to see Mr. Kringle.
Why, thank you, Susie.
Is there a fella here that says he's Santa Claus, alias Kris Kringle?
I'm Kris Kringle.
We'll have a complaint requiring your presence for an examination at Bellevue, sworn out by Mr. Bartholomew Sawyer. I'm afraid you'll have to come along.
I don't know what Mr. Bartholomew Sawyer says. Mr. Walker here can vouch for me.
I didn't know anything about this.
He claims he was attacked by this gentleman in a maniacal frenzy when Sawyer refused to believe he was Santa Claus.
Mr. Kringle doesn't actually mean he's Santa Claus.
Of course I do.
Chris, you don't have to keep pretending for Susan's benefit. Just tell them you're not Santa Claus and there'll be no trouble.
I'm not pretending.
Susan, why are you crying?
This is all your fault. Telling everybody he's not really Santa Claus. Well, his beard is real and he is too.
Susan, there are 6,000 men in New York City with real beards. That doesn't mean they're all Santa Claus.
He spoke Dutch to a little girl.
I speak French. That doesn't make me Joan of Arc.
You don't believe in him because you don't believe in anybody. You're a daddy.
Susan! Susie!
Pardon me.
Yes?
I'm Fred Gailey. I'm looking for Judge Groot.
Will you please wait out there?
Okay. I'm just here to inquire about a Mr. Kringle. About his commitment?
Are you his lawyer?
He doesn't have a lawyer.
Hadn't someone better get him one?
Well, you see, the trouble is Mr. Kringle doesn't want representation.
I'm sorry. I have to give these papers to the outer office. Will you please wait out here?
Harvard Law School, 1924?
Stop bothering me. I'm sorry, young lady, but you have to have an appointment.
Judge, please.
You'll have to see my secretary.
Judge, this is all a terrible misunderstanding.
Now, just one moment, young woman. Do you think he's sane?
I do.
But he thinks he's Santa Claus. Does that mean you think he's Santa Claus?
It means I think he's entitled to his day in court, and I have a legal right to protest this action.
Mr. Merrill, you're the district attorney. I thought you said this would be a routine commitment.
I knew nothing about this protest, Judge.
All right, Mr. Merrill, where's the gentleman's counsel?
No lawyer in town would take this case.
What about legal aid?
Even E.G. Marshall wouldn't touch it.
I'm not surprised. I like to see anybody get me into court to defend a man who thinks he's Santa Claus. Hand me my robe.
Don't get mixed up in this thing, Martin.
He's right. Sign the commitment papers, Judge.
Judge, please.
Just what is your interest in this case?
I employed Mr. Kringle to play Santa Claus for R.H. Macy and Company.
I see. Miss Walker, Mr. Kringle was given a simple test at Bellevue. He was confined by virtue by having failed that simple test.
If he failed any test, he did it on purpose.
Why would he do that? And how do I know he did? How does anybody know? I'm sorry, young lady. Would you please hand me my robe?
If you sign that, his lawyer will bring in a habeas corpus.
But he doesn't have a lawyer.
Yes, he has.
He has? Why didn't you say so before? What's his name?
Well, he's new. I don't think you know him. He hasn't really.
Miss Walker, are you hard of hearing? What's the man's name?
Fred Gailey. But he.
But what? Has he actually been retained?
He will be, Your Honor.
In time for a hearing at 8:30 tomorrow morning?
He'll be there.
All right. We'll have a hearing. Clara, call one Franklin Gailey, attorney at law. Notify on behalf of his client, Doris Walker, reference sanity hearing one Chris Kringle, my court, 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. What's his number?
It's a new telephone number. I don't even have it yet. But I'm meeting with him later this evening. I'll notify him, Judge.
Never mind, Clara. All right. But he better be here in the morning. And his name had better be Gailey, or he'll be held in contempt. And you, right along with him. Goodbye, Miss Walker.
Goodbye, Judge. Goodbye, gentlemen.
See you in court, Your Honor.
Now wait, Tom. Martin, you look kind of run down.
Me? Nonsense. Never felt better.
Go see the doc anyway. Take a few weeks off. Go hunting. Go fishing. Go any place. You need a change of scene.
What are you getting at, Tammany?
Your Honor, I don't know a habeas from a corpus, but I do know politics. And you need to get off this Kringle case. It's dynamite.
But I can't do that. Don't worry about it, Mr. O'Halloran. A judgeship is no bed of roses under any circumstances. And as Casey Stengel always says, you don't know what problems are until you sit on the bench. Don't worry about it.
But Martin.
Hand me my robe.
Captain Gailey, I'm taking you home. Whatever for, Fred. We're going to have a lady caller tonight.
Good news, Mr. Kringle. Dr. Brooks has arranged a temporary release for you, and he's waiting downstairs.
Tell Dr. Brooks not to wait. I'm not going anywhere.
But Mr. Kringle. Well, I'll just leave these things here for you anyway. Mr. Kringle, are you here? Mr. Kringle!
Susie, where's your mother?
At the store, I suppose.
Your mother isn't going to like that.
Why should you care what Doris likes?
Don't you ever call her anything but Doris?
You mean like Mom or something?
Yes, I mean like Mom or something. What happened that night at the store wasn't her fault at all. It was my fault. I gave up, that's all. And now I haven't any faith in myself. That's why I...
Flunked the test on purpose when they brought you here?
How'd you know I flunked it on purpose?
Uncle Fred told me. Remember the other day at the store, you asked me what I wanted for Christmas?
Of course I do.
Well, I came here to me tell you. I want a farmhouse with a swing in the back and a cow, like in the snapshot.
You want a dollhouse like this?
No, I want a real house like that, in the country with a swing in the back and a cow.
Your children are always asking for such impractical things. Real locomotives, live elephants.
Why don't you just say you can't get it?
No, Susan.
I never should have asked.
Susan!
I got pushing Pascal, you're all you know how to do.
How dare you? Do you know who you're talking to?
Yes, that's just it. Now what about my Christmas present?
I'll try.
Can you or can't you?
I can. Okay, I can. Snow clouds hang low and threatening. Maybe it won't. Praying it may. The brightest fireplace glows in every face, waiting for Christmas Day. Waiting for Christmas Day.
Someday I'm gonna look. What have you got? A pair of deuces?
Nope, I drew an inside straight and filled it. Okay, jarheads, up and out. You got 5 minutes to clear the deck. High card for a buck, anybody?
You and your inside straight. What time's the dame do?
She didn't say.
She didn't say, right? So the later, the better. So the ladies,
She's a high-class dame.
Hey, Captain, if she's a high-class dame, 8 to 5, she doesn't come at all.
Yeah.
No, I can't take your money. I'll tell you what I'll do. Give me 2 to 1 and I'll name the exact time that she's gonna ring that bell.
Yeah, right.
$5 a piece?
Then you must know something that we don't know.
All I know that she gets off work at 9 o'clock.
Wait a minute, where does she live?
Right next door.
And she's not here yet. I'll take 5 at that.
Me too. And I'll take 10.
When are you jarheads going to realize that I know dames?
All right.
All right, big man.
Yeah.
Name the time.
She'll be here in 4 minutes.
Midnight?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's taking her so long?
Sergeant, you've got to be kidding.
You tell me.
Well, she got off work about 9, got home about 9:15.
Gotta make
Just
excuses.
left again about 10:30.
Where is she?
She forgot her gloves.
She forgot her gloves.
All women forget their gloves.
Excuse.
Guys, I'm telling you, she's coming up our stairs.
Yeah?
She's ringing my doorbell right about now.
Whoa.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Hey, you know
Come
what he's
on
talking
in.
about?
What a dame. Yeah.
Would you buy a box of Girl Scout cookies? My troop has to sell this last box before midnight to make their quota.
Peanut butter kind, I hope.
You should be so lucky.
Yeah.
I wish I had one.
Sorry, y'all. I'll get you next time. Y'all just don't forget.
Wish I could get a dame like you.
Very funny. Just come on in. Doker, Miss Worst, Walker. Please come in. Have a chair.
I know it's a frightful imposition at this hour.
No, it isn't. I was waiting for you. I mean, you shouldn't have to come all this way in the middle of the night, all alone like this.
I live next door.
When you live right next door like that. Joy?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, that's all right. You know, I drew an inside straight tonight and filled it. It was beautiful.
You did. Mr. Gailey, first of all, I'd like to apologize.
Absolutely not necessary.
For coming over here so late.
Oh?
Believe me, I wouldn't have if there were
Any other lawyer in town to represent Chris?
That's right. The judge in the case,
Judge Martin Group?
As it happens, Judge Group is involved. But how did you know that?
Well, I was down there to see Judge Group myself this morning. In fact, I was behind the door when you walked in. Reminds me of an old joke. I was behind the door when they passed out the brains. So Mr. Kringle finally got to you.
Are you going to defend him?
Sure, now that he's going to have a hearing. That's what I went down there for this morning.
You could have phoned me at the store and told me.
Listen, last time I saw you, you invited me out of your life, remember? Besides,
it was more fun sitting over here in your catbird seat just waiting, wasn't it?
It sure was. You know something, Doris? You're a square.
Only squares use that word nowadays, Captain. Now, I'm not going to lose my temper like I did the last time, so if you'll excuse me.
No doubt about it. You played Chris's case this morning like Clarence Darrow. At heart, you're a square. And as long as you keep denying it, you're a fake.
I'd rather be a fake square than a genuine cornball.
You know what your trouble is, Doris? You don't know what you're on. You're going to end up paying one of those couch doctors $25 a visit just to find out.
It would be worth it if he told me I was permanently allergic to you.
Save your money. I'll tell you what you are for nothing.
Don't bother.
You're a pink tissue paper little dame who let an old man with real whiskers get under your skin.
And you're an overgrown cadet grinning along through life like a B-movie version of a bachelor astronaut on a block full of sorority houses.
And you're a dumb little dame because you think you're the only girl who ever married a heel instead of Prince Charming. Conclusion, no man is ever good enough for you or your daughter. On top of that, we're already in love, you and I, and it's making you a nervous wreck because we have absolutely nothing in common. Well, don't worry about it. Maybe we can find something. Hey, I wasn't making a pass. Exactly. Anyway, you started it.
Well, I just finished it, Charlie.
Fred!
About 10 minutes, maybe 5. It's open and shut. I'll be able to trim my own tradition. You can bet on that.
Oh, Miss Macy, can I see you for a minute?
What is it, Shellhammer?
Remember my jingle idea?
Yes.
It didn't work too well with plastic alligators, but I'd like to try it with another item.
What item, Shellhammer?
Plastic alligator skin pocketbooks. You can claim anything if you sing it. This pocketbook is plastic, but you can't wear it out. You can close it, open it, throw it on the floor, watch it crawl right back for more. Buy one today.
Mr. Shellhammer! I've never made a citizen's arrest.
Will take, Fred.
I'm not sure, but the longer it takes, the better our chances.
What's your plan?
Plan? No, I don't have a plan. I'll ask for a postponement, of course, the first chance I get.
Well, I'm not a bit worried. I got my faith back, and I couldn't ask for a final attorney.
Yeah, attorney in the New York State Supreme Court.
I guess you've been here many times before.
Actually, Mr. Kringle, this is my first case. Anywhere.
All rise. Trial term part 3, Judge Group presiding. All those having business with this court, draw near and ye shall be heard.
Is the respondent's counsel present?
I'm here, Judge.
The commitment papers are before you, Judge Group. If Your Honor please, I should like to call the first, and may I confidently predict, the only witness that will be required.
Proceed, Mr. Merritt.
Will Mr. Chris Kringle take the stand?
Chris Kringle, take the stand.
Good morning, Judge.
Come on.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Before you begin, Mr. District Attorney, I want to explain to the witness that this is a hearing, not a trial. Mr. Kringle, you do not have to answer any questions against your will or even testify at all.
I'll be glad to answer any questions that I can, Your Honor.
What is your name?
Chris Kringle.
And where do you live?
Well, that's what this hearing will decide.
A very sound answer, Mr. Kringle.
Do you believe that you are Santa Claus?
Of course.
The state rests, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Gailey, do you wish to cross-examine the witness? I believe he was employed to play Santa Claus. Perhaps he did not understand the question.
Oh, I understood the question perfectly, Your Honor.
Oh, you did? Well, Mr. Gailey, I dare say you haven't had too much time to study your client's opinions. Perhaps a postponement might be in order.
Why would I want a postponement, Your Honor? I'm fully aware of my client's opinions. In fact, that is the entire case he has against him. All those tests and reports boil down to this. Mr. Kringle is not sane because he believes he's Santa Claus.
An entirely logical assumption, I'm afraid.
It would be if the bailiff here, or the DA, or I believed we were Santa Claus.
Anyone who thinks he's Santa Claus is crazy.
Not at all. Your Honor, you believe yourself to be Judge Groot, don't you, Your Honor? I mean, nobody questions your sanity because you are Judge Groot.
But Mr. Kringle is the subject of this hearing.
Yes, Your Honor. And if he is the person that he believes he is, just as you are, then he is just as sane.
Granted, but he isn't.
But he is, Your Honor.
Is what?
I intend to prove that Mr. Kringle is Santa Claus.
Order. Proceed, Mr. Gailey.
The defense would like to call as its first witness Mr. R.H. Macy.
R.H. Macy, take the stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Your name, sir?
R.H. Macy.
Owner of one of the largest department stores in New York?
The largest?
Mr. Macy, if you recognize that gentleman seated right there, will you please tell us who he is?
That's Chris Kringle.
Your employee, is he not?
Yes.
Do you believe him to be truthful?
I do.
Do you believe him to be sound of mind?
I certainly do.
Mr. Macy, you are under oath. Do you really believe that that man is Santa Claus?
Well, he gives every indication
Just
of...
answer yes or no.
Mr. DA, I'm under
All
the
I want is a yes or no answer.
Just answer the question, Mr. Macy.
Well, if you could rephrase that question...
You can claim.
Showhammer! Order! Mrs. Walker!
Order here!
That man over there is Santa Claus. I know. I can tell by the crinkle on the bridge of his nose, the wink of his eye, and the twinkle of his toe, and the joy wherever he goes. That man is he.
There's 1,000 other Santa Clauses just like him all over town.
I don't care if every other corner has a Santa Claus standing there. I don't care. Short or tall, round or fat or slim. I'm aware of the many other Santas everywhere. I'm aware, but that one over there represents them all as they represent him.
Now just a minute.
That man over there is Santa Claus. I know. I can tell by the crinkle on the bridge of his nose, the wink of his eye, and the twinkle of his toes, and the joy wherever he goes. That man is he. That man over there is Santa Claus. I know. I can tell by the jingle in his voice like a bell, white as the holly in his coat a bell, and the joy he spreads as well. That man is he. I don't care if every other corner has a Santa Claus standing there. I don't care. Down with Scrooge and up with Tiny Tim. I'm aware of the many other Santas everywhere. I'm aware, but that one over there represents them all as they represent him. That man over there is Santa Claus. I know. I can tell by the crinkle on the bridge of his nose, the wink of his eye, and the twinkle of his toes, and the joy wherever he goes. That man is he, is Santa Claus. I know
Mr. Macy, you are under oath. Do you believe that that man is Santa Claus?
That man over there is
Okay,
Santa
all right.
Claus.
That is all, Your Honor.
You may step down, sir.
Your Honor,
Sire. Merry Christmas. You're fired!
Your Honor, I object to this testimony. It is ridiculous and irrelevant.
Sustained.
Mr. Gailey is making a circus out of this court. There's no such person as Santa Claus, and everybody knows it.
Your Honor, I submit that this is purely a matter of opinion. Can the DA offer any proof that there is no such person?
No, and I do not intend to. This is no nursery. This is the New York State Supreme Court, and I will not waste this court's time with such childish nonsense.
I object, Your Honor. The DA seems to have appointed himself judge here, Your Honor. He is now ruling on what testimony I may and may not introduce.
Overruled.
Your Honor, I demand an immediate ruling from this court. Is there or is there not a Santa Claus?
Mr. Mara, I'm surprised you didn't get to that. As I was saying, the court will recess to consider this matter. The hearing will reconvene at 3 p.m. Tuesday afternoon.
Judge Group, you'll break Mr. Kringle's heart if you hand down a ruling that there isn't any Santa Claus.
Well, I'm certainly not going to hand out a ruling saying he is.
I understand that.
And I am certainly going to hand down a ruling.
Mr. Kringle may have a few delusions, but he only wants to be kind and friendly, and you should respect him for that, not punish him for it.
I respect the Constitution of the United States, and I have sworn to uphold it by appropriate jurisprudence.
Don't get mixed up in this, Martin.
Out of the question, O'Halloran.
But, Judge, couldn't you just equivocate a little when the hearing resumes?
Not if equivocate means what I think you think it means.
I understand, Judge. Mrs. Walker, gentlemen, we are in the presence of a great human being. I feel humble indeed.
Very humble indeed.
Oh, very humble indeed, sir.
But, Mr. O'Halloran, do you know of anyone who would lay his career on the line like that?
No.
No.
My career? Wait a minute.
Maybe Albert Schweitzer.
Possibly Lincoln.
Yes, Lincoln. The great rail splitter. The great commoner.
The great commoner was William Pitt.
Exactly, but he was from Pittsburgh.
Right.
And Abraham Lincoln was from Illinois, just like the judge here, I'll wager. Right, Judge?
No, I'm from Kansas.
Kansas? Kansas, of course. The pioneer state. That's where you get your courage from. Did Custer Flint at the Little Battle of the Bighorn?
The Big Battle of the Little Horn.
After his Bighorn Battle of the Little Brittle.
Actually, it wasn't in Kansas. It was in Montana.
Exactly my point, Mrs. Walker. But if it had been in Kansas, Custer wouldn't have lost. And you're not going to lose this battle either, Judge, no matter what it does to your political future.
My political future? Just a moment.
Listen to the voice of your Kansas constituents.
What's Kansas got to do with it?
When the sun's on the prairie, and the sun's on the field, and the sun's on the range, can't you see? And when the sun's on the range, then the stew's in the pot.
For my darling, my baby, and me.
And if Judge Group has to break the heart of this little man's Kansas baby, he'll do it. No, Virginia, there is no Santa Claus. And all of you children out there, all over America, all over the world, if this judge's principles compel him to rule that there is no Santa Claus, he will do it. And like Custer, die with his boots on. Politically speaking, of course.
Politically speaking? Now, wait a minute.
My state, my Kansas, don't let me roam. My state, my Kansas, my home sweet home.
When it rains on the prairie and it rains on the fields, it rains on the weeds, don't you see? And when it rains on the weeds, then the whole world could eat with my darling, my baby, and me.
And when it rains on the weeds, then the whole world could eat. Well, my darling, my baby, and me.
Goodbye, Mr. Group. Mr. Group.
In the paper?
Especially for you, Mr. Kringle.
Look, Fred, a letter addressed to me here at the courthouse. Bet you were happy to really locate me for once.
I sure was. Though it would have come quicker if they'd only used your zip code.
My zip code?
Sure. 99701. I've seen them addressed to North Pole, South Pole, Iceland. That mail clogs up the works every December. Now I can deliver it all right over here to you.
Fine.
We'll probably get to it next week.
Look, Fred, it's a Christmas card. No, it's a birthday card from Susan, in the shape of a purse. From one old bag to another, it says.
Excuse me, couldn't some of that Santa mail be delivered here today?
It's the day before Christmas, mister. We haven't got the manpower.
I'd really appreciate it if we could get some guys off the street possibly.
You crazy? Gotta be a government employee to deliver the U.S. mail.
You won't be long, will you, Mr. Gaylor?
No, just a fast phone call.
I'll be coming along then.
Excuse me.
Hello, Doris.
Hello, Mr. Kringle. I've been trying for days to get up my courage to tell you how much I regret that day at the store.
Now.
I mean it, Mr. Kringle. My answer should have been, I know Kris Kringle to be a remarkable man who is good for us all. Anything else is beside the point.
Why, Doris, you have faith in me after all.
Don't misunderstand me. Faith has nothing to do with it.
You may change your mind when Susie gets her Christmas present.
Oh, yes, she told me. Now, was it something about a farmhouse with a swing in the back and a cow? Quite an unusual present.
It is a little hard to wrap. Say, would you mind picking it up for me later this evening?
Pick it up where?
Over in front of your department store.
Mr. Kringle, can you see me searching in front of a department store for a farmhouse with a swing in the back and a cow?
It would indicate quite a little faith now, wouldn't it?
Yes, and no common sense whatever.
That's just it. Faith is believing in something when your common sense tells you not to. You know, I thought Fred Gailey behaved like a schoolboy just now. It's the strangest thing. Every time I bring up your name, he changes the subject.
Why would you mention my name to him?
I was just trying to get you what you wanted for Christmas.
Mr. Kringle, Mr. Gailey and I have absolutely nothing in common.
Oh?
He's like day and I'm like night. Him for my Christmas present? How wrong can you be? Certainly when he kissed me, I mean the one and only time. Actually, it started out as an insult. It was an insult. He was grinning and everything. And then we were kissing, like it was the last kiss on this earth. Oh, I didn't want this, Mr. Kringle. I didn't want it at all.
It's okay. It's okay.
All rise. The court will reconvene. Judge Group presiding.
Where's the Respondents' Counsel? Before making a ruling, where's Mr. Gailey?
I'm terribly sorry I'm late, Your Honor. I had to take care of a little unfinished business.
Before making a ruling, this court has consulted the highest authority available. The question of Santa Claus seems to be largely a matter of opinion. Many people firmly believe in him. Others do not. The tradition of American justice demands a broad and unprejudiced view of such a controversial matter. Therefore, this court intends to keep an open mind and shall hear evidence on either side.
Your Honor, the burden of proof to this ridiculous contention clearly rests with my opponent. Can he produce any evidence to support his views?
If Your Honor please, I can. Will Thomas Mayer please take the stand?
Who, me?
Thomas Mayer, Jr.
Thomas Mayer Jr., take the stand.
Hello, Daddy.
You know the difference between telling the truth and telling a lie, don't you, Tommy?
Yeah,
gosh, everybody knows you shouldn't tell a lie, especially in court.
Tell me, Tommy, do you believe in Santa Claus?
Sure I do. He brought me a brand new flexible flyer sled last year.
Well, then what does he look like?
There he is, sitting there.
What makes you so sure that there is a Santa Claus, Tommy?
Because my daddy told me so.
And you believe your daddy, don't you, Tommy? He's a very honest man.
Of course he is. My daddy wouldn't say anything that wasn't so. Would you, Daddy?
Thank you, Tommy.
Don't forget a real official football helmet.
You shall have it, Tommy.
Your Honor, the state of New York concedes the existence of Santa Claus. But in so conceding, we ask of Mr. Gailey to cease presenting personal opinion as evidence. The state could bring in hundreds of witnesses with opposite views, but it is our desire to shorten this hearing rather than prolong it. I therefore demand that Mr. Gailey submit authoritative proof that Mr. Kringle is the one and only Santa Claus.
Yes, Mr. Gailey, do you have anything further to offer?
Not at this time, Your Honor. If I could just have a short recess, it would...
I'm afraid not, Mr. Gailey.
Your Honor, it's obvious that Mr. Gailey has not one shred of authoritative proof to support his claim. Now, since tonight is Christmas Eve, and we're all anxious to get home for supper, I ask that you sign the commitment papers without further delay.
Now, just a minute, Your Honor. If I can't have a recess, then I'll do without it. My case isn't complete yet.
For instance?
For instance, the post office, which, as we all know, is an official agency of the United States government. Now, as we all know, the Post Office Department was created by the Second Continental Congress on July 26, 1776, the first Postmaster General being Benjamin Franklin. Now, the Post Office Department is one of the largest business concerns of the world. Under the current Postmaster General last year, it did a gross business of $3,564,000.
Your Honor, I'm sure we're all gratified to know that the Post Office Department is doing so nicely, but that has no bearing on this case.
It has a great deal of bearing on this case, Your Honor, if I may be allowed to proceed.
By all means, Mr. Gailey.
The figures which I have quoted indicate an efficiently run business organization. Furthermore, the U.S. postal laws and regulations make it a criminal offense to willfully misdirect mail or intentionally deliver it to the wrong party. Consequently, the Post Office Department uses every precaution necessary.
Your Honor, the state of New York is second to none in its admiration of the Post Office Department. It is efficient and authoritative. We are happy to concede this.
For the record?
Of course, for the record. Anything to get on with this case.
Then, Your Honor, I'd like to introduce this piece of evidence. I have here a letter, Your Honor, simply addressed Santa, New York Court. It was delivered to this man, Kris Kringle, by bona fide employees of the United States Postal Department. I offer this, Your Honor, as positive proof that a competent federal authority, such as a high upstanding
One letter, Your Honor, addressed here because of the publicity this case has received, is hardly positive proof.
If Your Honor would bear with me just for a moment. We do have more letters, Your Honor.
We'd all like to see them, I'm sure.
Yes, indeed. Just bring them here. Put them up here on my bench.
Your Honor, I hesitate to put them on your bench.
Just put them right here by my bench.
Yes, sir, with pleasure. Detail 10 shot. Forward, pause. Column left, pause. Your Honor, every one of these letters were simply addressed Santa Claus. The Post Office Department has delivered them to this man, Kris Kringle, with the help of the U.S. Marines, the Post Office Department branch of the federal government. Therefore, Your Honor, the United States of America recognizes this man, Kris Kringle, as the one and only Santa Claus.
Since the United States of America declares this man to be Santa Claus, this court would not dispute it. Case dismissed!
There's hair over there in Santa Claus. I know. I can tell by the crinkle on the bridge of his nose, the wink of his eye, and the twinkle of his toes. And the joy
you, Miss Walker. What are you doing out here? It's cold.
Hi, Thompson. I'm looking for a Christmas present. A farmhouse with a swing in the back and a cow.
Well, that's fine, Miss Walker. Merry Christmas.
Oh, no, Thompson, I didn't. Merry Christmas, Thompson. Oh. Fred, what are you doing here?
Chris told me to come down here and get my Christmas present. Have you seen it?
That's funny, he told me the same thing. Susan wants a farmhouse with a swing in the back and a cow. I wonder what will come with it for me. Maybe a Prince Charming.
Are you looking for a Prince Charming, Doris? I think I can make you and Susan very happy if you'll have me. Well, will you marry me, Doris?
I love you, Fred.
Charlie. Let's go tell Susan she can have her Santa Claus and a daddy too.
Ho, ho!